Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Pleb and welcome to the OG Toons and Twisted guide. In this guide I'll be talking about all Toons and Twisted from they were basically available from the very beginning of the game when it got released in alpha. So I will be talking about their statistics, their ability, what role they are in the, well, their preferred role, I should say it like that. What their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, which trinkets go well with them, as well as the research trinket you get from finishing the research of the twisted version of this toon. We'll also be talking about the statistics of the twisted. So what their speed is, for example, their vision, hearing, their attention span, their ability, and how you can deal with them. I know that this information is also available on the Wikipedia, but the information shown there is mostly incorrect, the statistic parts of it. So let's not talk too much about this, since this first one will take a lot of time. We're starting off with Astro. Astro stats are not that bad, to be honest. It's quite a good character. It has 2 skill checks. Well, 2 stars on the skill check. It has 3 stars on the movement speed. That means that it has a speed of 15 for walking and 25 for running. The stamina is 3 stars as well, which is 150 stamina. The stealth is 5 stars, which is a stat of 20. The extraction speed has 3 stars, which is a value of 1 time extraction speed multiplier. Then for the abilities, there are 2 of them. The first one is called Nap Time. It creates a small pulse around them that restores stamina of the toons around them. The cooldown is 75 seconds. And Well Rested, which is a 50% faster stamina regeneration. And it also allows Astro to see toons below 50% stamina. Regarding the gameplay of this toon, well, let's just start with the role of him. The role that most people want Astro to be in is a support role, of course, to help the distractors like Pebble or Goob or anyone else to regain their stamina when they need it. So the best way to play Astro in this case is to do the machines nearby the distractor, so that you can assist the distractor at all times when needed. And you should not, well, I advise you not to like use the ability as soon as you see someone go down below 50%. It's best to like take a look, see how much stamina they are actually using, and then wait a bit before actually using your ability, because you don't always need to use your ability to give the distractor stamina back. Regarding strength and weaknesses, well, Astro's strength is definitely the stealth stats, which has 5 stars. And it doesn't really have any weaknesses. As long as you play decent with it, don't just run into Twisted that are not aggro to anyone. Astro should be a fairly good character to play as a support. Regarding trinkets to use for Astro, most of the time what people prefer or recommend for Astro to have is V's Remote. And for the second one, Magnifying Glass or Sweet Charm. So Magnifying Glass, of course, for the skill check chance multiplier, and Sweet Charm to reduce the cooldown of the ability. If you have decent distractors, then they would ask you to bring Magnifying Glass instead of Sweet Charm. So that is mainly it for the toon. Now on to the Twisted. So Astro the Twisted has a movement speed, a patrol speed of 10 and a run speed of 19. So when they are chasing you, the speed stat is 19. During panic, the patrol speed is 12, and during panic, the run speed is 22.8. This means that during panic mode, they will outrun Goob without trinkets, for example. Since Goob's run speed is 20 during panic. And I mean, that's incorrect. Runes, it's 22.5 on 4-star speed. Regarding the vision of Astro, they can see 70 studs away from themselves. So if you're within 70 stud of Astro, they will notice you. And the hearing radius is any sound made when you're failing a skill check. Since it's Astro, they have a special amount, which is 9,999 stud. So no matter where you are on the map, if you make a noise by failing a skill check, Astro will notice it. The attention span of Astro is 3 seconds, which means that you have to lose the sight of Astro, like for 3 seconds only, and then they will stop chasing you. We all know Astro's ability. It is stealing the machine's progress. It should be around 40 to 45% that it steals. And it also gives the Tier 3 debuff during chases. So when Astro is chasing you, it gives you Tier 3 debuff. I don't know exactly the exact number of what it was on top of my head, but it significantly slows down the stamina regeneration. So that was it for Astro. We're now going on to Boxten. We'll start off with the Toon. The Toon has 3-star skill check. And there's 3 movement speed, which is again 15 walk and 25 run. 3 stamina, which is 150 stamina stealth. 3 stealth, which is 10 stealth. 3 extraction speed, which is a 1x multiplier. However, since Boxten has the ability called Wind Up, which gains him 6% more extraction speed for every alive Toon, maxing out at 48%. So this also counts for Boxten himself. So if you're the only one alive as Boxten, you will still have a 6% speed boost, putting you at 1.06. For the role, of course, Boxten is used as Extractor. Boxten Strength is, of course, the extraction speed bonus they get for others being alive. Weaknesses, I wouldn't call Boxten having any weaknesses as it is, since it's basically one of the starter Toons. It has everything on 3 stats. So as long as you keep your distance from Twisted, you should be fine. You can outrun most of them for a bit. And how you would mainly play Boxten? Well, focusing on extraction mainly, nothing else. Staying a bit away from the distractors, since, for example, if you have Pebble on your team or Flutter and so on, you have the same stealth test. So it's best to stay a bit away from them and do machines away from the distractor, and you'll be fine. Regarding trinkets, mainly recommended trinkets for Boxten would be Magnifying Glass, Participation Award, or V's Remote. If you don't have any of these, what you could also use is Pink Bow or any other extraction tool, like trinkets, like the manual. Regarding the Twisted version of Boxten, Twisted version of Boxten is nothing really, nothing interesting. They have the default speed, which is 10 patrol speed and 12 during panic, 18 run speed when they're chasing you, and 21.6 during panic. The vision and the hearing radius are also the same default amount, which is 60 stud vision and 125 stud hearing. Regarding attention span, the default attention span, the average attention span, which is 1.5 seconds. So you only have to be out of their vision for 1.5 seconds to lose their attention and make them stop chasing you. And that is basically it for Boxten. Now we're going on to Brightney. So starting off with the Toon again. The Toon has 3 skill check, 3 movement speed, which is 15 walk and 25 run, 4 stamina, which is a total of 175 stamina, 1 stealth, which basically puts the stealth number at exactly 0, 4 extraction speed, which is a 1.2 times multiplier, and the ability called Nightlight, which shines a light on a Twisted to make them visible during blackouts for 8 seconds. This is a cooldown of 45 seconds. Regarding gameplay for Brightney, you could call her a extractor or a survivor. So the strengths and weaknesses of Brightney, well, let's just say that she has a big weakness, which is her 1-star stealth set. The reason why this is mainly a weakness is, well, I wouldn't really call it a weakness unless you play it in teams. So you'll be taking all the aggro from every single distractor. That's the only weakness that it causes to the entire team. Besides that, her extraction is pretty good, so she's good for an extractor, but she needs to stay away from the twisted. And regarding, well, I would advise her as a solo player more, to be honest. Ways to play Brightney, well, basically just extracting, as I mentioned, and staying away from the twisted. So it's best to have, yeah, there isn't really anything else to talk about. Regarding trinkets, you should definitely go for the distracted trinkets, magnifying glass, participation award, visa mode, or you could take a ping bow again, as I mentioned, if you don't have any of those. For Twisted Brightney, well, Twisted Brightney isn't that special either, besides the fact that she glows bright red, so you can see her more easily during blackouts. The speed that Brightney has, Twisted Brightney, is 12 patrol speed and 14.4 during panic. She has 18 run speed and 21.6 during panic. So she is a bit faster than the common Twisted. Her vision is also a bit bigger, so her vision radius is 65 studs and the hearing radius is 150 studs. Her attention span is also a bit longer than the average ones. Her attention span is 2 seconds. Beside that, there isn't really anything else to talk about Brightney. So we're going on to the first and only lethal character, which is Dandy. So we all know that Dandy is, well, most of us know that Dandy is a character that's exclusive to developers. However, you can still play him in the roleplay server. The stats are all 5, so 5 skill check, 5 movement, 5 stamina, 5 stealth, and 5 extraction. No need to go further into it. The character is also invincible, so they cannot die. The character is used by developers to basically, what should I call, it's basically used to test. And then, beside that, we have the Twisted Dandy. We can all encounter him by ignoring the shop 3 times. After 3 times, Dandy has a small chance of spawning in. And regarding the statistics of Twisted Dandy has a 9 walk speed, which is 10.8 during panic. 16 run speed, which is 19.2 during panic. The vision of Dandy is 80 stats. And since Dandy is a special character, the hearing radius is also 9,999. Regarding ways to deal with Dandy or its ability, well, the ability is that it can hear the machine's finishing, so it will go to the location where you finish the machine. Another thing about Dandy regarding this is that you can still finish machines while it's still chasing. It will only go to the machine it heard first, and it will ignore everything else till it stops going to that machine. So you can finish, like, for example, 2 or 3 more machines during the time it goes to a different machine, or to one of the machines. It will ignore every other machines that are being finished before it reaches the machine. Beside that, the other ability, or not really ability, mechanic that Dandy has is that it instantly kills. So it does a total of 3 heart of damage. So no matter who you play, it will immediately kill you when it hits you. So that's all about Dandy. Let's go on to Goob. The Toon Goob has 3 skill check, 4 movement speed, which is 17.5 walking and 27.5 running. 4 stamina, which is a stat of 175, 2 stealth, which is 5 stealth, and 2 extraction speed, which is a multiplier of 0.85. Goob also has the Hog ability, which pulls Toons towards his position. This is a cooldown of 30 seconds. Goob is mainly used as a distractor, and that's all you have to really know about Goob. It has a 4-star stealth, 4-star movement speed, and 4-star stamina, which makes him a very decent distractor. Beside that, it's good to pull AFKs into the elevator. And the strengths and weaknesses of Goob is definitely the stealth. So 2-star stealth helps him a lot with keeping the aggro from twisted, so that your teammates can do the machines with ease. However, the one weakness that Goob has is that it only has 4-star movement speed, which means it will have more trouble with V and other twisted combination. It cannot do V and Astro together, for example, due to Astro draining your stamina way too much. Besides that, Goob doesn't really have any other weaknesses. Trinket combinations, well, there are only 4 trinkets to use as distractor Goob. One of them is Dog Plush, and then Speedy Shoes. But if you have a duo, you should go for Clown Horn and the Ribbon Spool combination. So Dog Plush, Clown Horn, and Dog Plush, Ribbon Spool. And then onto the Twisted variation of Goob. The Twisted Goob has a walk speed of 8, which is 9.6 during panic, and run speed of 16, which is 19.2 during panic. The vision is 60 studs and the hearing radius is 100 studs. Goob also has an attention span of 3 seconds. And Goob's mechanic or ability is called Grab. It pulls any toon in their sight towards them and damaging them. This ability has a cooldown of 10 seconds. You can, of course, outrun it or just evade it. It has a max range. I did not find any information about the exact range in stats. I would assume it's also 60, which is the range of vision. And you can also just evade it by hiding or going behind an object. That will also cancel out the grab. So let's go to the next one, which is Pebble. Pebble's stats are 3 skill check, 5 movement speed, which is 20 walk and 30 run. It has 4 stamina, which is 175. 3-star stealth, which is 10 stealth. And a 1-star extraction speed, which is a multiplier of 0.75. The abilities that Pebble have are called Speak and Fetch, with Speak barking loudly to decrease the stealth to -40. Which is important to note, this is only -40, which means that you will not be able to use this ability to take aggro away from Shrimpo. Shrimpo's stealth stat is -99. And the bark also alerts twisted that are nearby to their location. So if they are within the stud radius, as I mentioned before, then they will be able to hear it and go towards the location where you used the bark ability or the speak ability. This ability also has a cooldown of 60 seconds. Of course, you can increase this all the way to 50 seconds with the 2 cards. And then regarding Fetch, this is a active ability. This is a passive ability. It sniffs out items every so many seconds and causing them to be highlighted for you as Pebble within the when you're in the vicinity of them. Regarding the gameplay of Pebble, they're a distractor with the highest speed stat. So they can basically distract everything. The only combination that you cannot distract at once is Pebble and V together. Regarding strengths and weaknesses, well, the strength is the 5-star speed stat, of course. Beside that, it doesn't really have any weaknesses beside being main and having 2 hearts. And Pebble is also one of the worst extractors because of the 1 extraction speed. However, the 3 skill check does make up for it. However, if you're extracting as Pebble, you should give the machine to others since they are all way faster than you are at it. Regarding trinkets, basically the same as Goob, dog plush, speedy shoes, clown horn, and the ribbon spool. So of course you want to use dog plush for one of them, and then speedy shoes, clown horn, or ribbon spool in the other slot. And we're going on to Pebble. The Twisted Pebble. Twisted Pebble has a walk speed or a patrol speed of 10, which is 12 during panic, and a run speed of 25, which is 30 during panic. Pebble also has a high vision radius of 125 studs, and an even higher hearing radius of 200 studs. So that's why Pebble can also see you from really far away. Regarding the attention span, that is 3 seconds long. So you have to be out of their sight for 3 seconds to lose them. And beside the fact that Pebble is really fast, they don't have any specific ability or mechanic. And the next one is Poppy. The Toon Poppy has 3 skill check chance, 3-star movement speed, which is 15 walk and 25 run, 3-star stamina, which is 150 stamina, 3-star stealth, which is 10 stealth, and 3-star extraction speed, which is a multiplier of 1. Poppy also has a single ability, which is called Panic Pop. This is a passive ability and triggers when you get hit. Well, basically upon taking damage. And Poppy gains or receives a 50% speed boost for 3 seconds when that happens. The role of Poppy, well, you could call her a survivor character, a survivor Toon. But beside that, she's only really used for extracting. The strengths and weaknesses, well, Poppy is your basic default character, average in every way possible. And the only strength is, well, what she has is that when she gets hit, she gets that speed boost for 3 seconds. Making it possible to avoid dire situations as her. Regarding trinkets, well, magnifying glass or visa mode, participation award, pink bow. These all work for Poppy. And the Twisted is also your basic Twisted with 10 patrol speed, 12 during panic, 18 run speed, and 21.6 during panic. The vision and hearing radius are also default with 60 stud vision and 125 stud hearing. And the same goes for attention span, which is 1.5 seconds. So let's go on to Razzle and Dazzle. Razzle and Dazzle has 3 skill check stars, 3-star movement speed, and which is on odd floors. Actually, I'll talk about that in a moment. 3-star stamina, which is 175 stamina, 3-star stealth, which is 10 stealth, 3-star extraction speed. And I will also talk about this in more depth in a moment. Since we're now heading onto it right away, to the ability, which is called Comedy and Tragedy. So, which means that This is a passive ability that swaps Razzle Comedy and Dazzle, which is Tragedy, between the floors. Which basically Razzle being a comedy who has higher movement speed on odd floors, and Dazzle being Tragedy who has higher extraction speed on even floors. So the odd floors is then a 0.75 speed multiplier, and the even floor is a 1.5 speed multiplier. While for the extraction, that is. And on odd floors, the actual movement speed is 20 walk and 30 run, and on even floors it is 10 walk and 20 run. Regarding gameplay for Razzle and Dazzle, which is basically a hybrid but mostly used for extracting. So on even floors, you can use them as extractor due to the high extraction speed but slow movement speed. And during odd floors, they can be used as a backup distractor since they have the same stats as a 5-star distractor. The Strenght of weaknesses, basically great for distracting on odd floors and decent extractor on even floors. However, due to the low speed on even floors, it makes them quite vulnerable to Twisted. What trinkets do I advise for Razzle and Dazzle? Magnifying glass, phaser mode, a ribbon spool. These are what I recommend for Razzle and Dazzle. Regarding Twisted Razzle and Dazzle, basically do not run within the circle. It's not difficult. Razzle and Dazzle just blocks some areas, so alone they are not something difficult to deal with. As a 4-star distractor, you should also be fine by just walking straight through Razzle and Dazzle, since nothing really outruns you. So let's just go on to Rodger. The information about Rodger is 3 skill check chance, 2-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 4-star extraction speed. The 2-star movement speed is 12.5 walk and 22.5 run. The 3-star stamina is 150 stamina stat, and the 3-star stealth is 10 stealth. The 4-star extraction speed is a multiplier of 1.2. And Rodger also has a single ability called Detective, which allows them to gain twice the amount of research from capsules and encountering Twisted. Which makes Rodger the ideal toon to play as when you get new toons and Twisted in the game. The role of Rodger is basically extractor. Or you could also call him researcher. Strengths and weaknesses, excellent for getting research as I mentioned before, and decent for extracting because of the 4-star extraction speed and 3-star skill check chance. Beside that, the 2-star movement speed is a bit of a, not really a worry, but something to keep an eye out for, since you cannot just go around and counter Twisted all over the place, since you will get hit eventually. Regarding trinkets, magnifying glass, phaser mode, participation award, all will do really well. Or you could also just get a ping bow to make up for the 2-star movement speed. And then Twisted Rodger. Well, Twisted Rodger is basically a fake capsule. When you open the capsule, it will apply you with slow 3 and confusion 3 debuffs. Slow 3, of course, making you really slow, slows you down by like 75%. And confusion 3 also reduces your extraction speed by 75%. However, this doesn't matter too much since it will basically go away as soon as you are able to walk at normal speed again. It's really easy to spot Rodger because they don't have any tapes around the capsule, so keep an eye out for that and you should be completely fine. In the case you do trigger Twisted Rodger, just keep him alone, don't go into their field of view, and it will turn back to a fake capsule after 18 seconds of not being disturbed. And we're going on to scraps. Scraps has a 2-star skill check, a 2-star movement speed, which is 12.5 bulk and 22.5 run. 5-star stamina stat, which is 200 stamina. 3-star stealth stat, which is 10 stealth, and a 3-star extraction speed stat, which is a multiplier of 1. They also have an ability called Crafty Grabble, which pulls herself towards another toon, and the cooldown of this is 25 seconds. What could you call her role? Well, this 2-star skill check chance and a 2 movement speed makes her not that great for anything at all. I would call her more of a survivalist, or basically a survivor than any other role. Like, she's below average of a character. The strength of weaknesses. Well, the weakness is definitely the 2-star movement speed. And the 5-star stamina, not 5-star stamina. The 5-star stamina is what is actually pretty good. However, she cannot really use much of it due to the 2-star movement speed. The grapple ability is only good for Scraps herself. If you are ever gonna use this ability, you should use it on a distractor, which has a 2-star stealth stat, so basically Goob or Louie. If and only if they're distracting. If you're in a call with them, you should notify them about it. However, she doesn't really have any strengths at all. That's also why she gets banned from most of the runs. But let's just continue and go on to the trinkets. What trinkets should you use for Scraps? Well, since they have a 2-star skill check chance, what I would advise for Scraps is V's Remote and Pink Bow, or a Nightcap. The magnifying glass doesn't do too much, since it scales with the skill check multiplier, which is very low due to the 2-star skill check chance. Let's just go on to the Twisted. We all know Scraps Twisted. Their patrol speed is 8, and that is 9.6 during panic. Their run speed is 16, which is 19.2 during panic. Their vision is above average, which is 75 studs. And their hearing is below average, which is 100 studs, the same as Goob. Their attention span is 2 seconds. And the cooldown of their attack is lower. It's longer than Goob's. It is 12 seconds. And that's all you need to know about Scraps, since you can also just use the same tactics to avoid Scraps as you do Goob. You just have to pay attention that the cooldown is a bit longer, by 2 seconds. And now on to Shrimpo. So Shrimpo has a 1-star stat for everything, which means that the movement speed is 10 walk, 20 run, 100 stamina, and the extraction multiplier is 0.75. I didn't mention the stealth yet, and that's for one reason, and that is due to the ability Shrimpo has, which is called Bully. This ability lowers Shrimpo's stats drastically. Well, stats, only stealth. And it lowers it all the way to minus 99. This is also where I mentioned when Pebble uses their ability, which is called not sniff, but speak. It only lowers that to minus 40, which is not enough to take the aggro away from Shrimpo due to the minus 99 stat on stealth. So, the gameplay for Shrimpo. Well, Shrimpo does not fall in any of the roles, any of the normal roles, since Shrimpo is basically only meant to be used for a challenge. For it, if you want to either get the mastery done for them, or just want to do any challenges with them, then that's mainly the reason why people play Shrimpo. Regarding strengths and weaknesses, well, everything is 1. there are no strengths for Shrimpo. Only weaknesses. You're really slow, you cannot outrun anything beside. You can only outrun one specific Twisted, and that Twisted is called a Ginger. However, since Ginger will be removed soon, on the 10th of February of 2025, for a limited time, I assume till the next event drops, winter event, then they will most likely re-add her. But till then, you won't have to worry about her. Well, worry about her. Well, I guess you could say worry about her. And we'll get into that once we get into that guide. Way to play Shrimpo is just survive. Avoid all Twisted at all cost. You cannot outrun anything and anyone. You cannot lose aggro unless you turn around corners. What trinkets should you use for Shrimpo? Well, what I would advise is Pink Bow, Speedy Shoes, and Visa Mode. These three trinkets are what help our Shrimpo a bit. You could also use one other specific trinket, which is the armor. The cardboard armor to survive one snipe from a twisted floor. However, I don't think that's worth it that much. So let's go into the twisted Shrimpo. Their patrol speed is 9.5 and they have a 11.4 patrol speed during panic. The run speed is actually a bit different than the other Toons. It is funny though, since the default for some of them is 16, but for Shrimpo it is 16.5 run speed. And during panic, this is 19.8. Shrimpo also has a bigger vision radius than average, which is 70 studs. And the hearing radius is 125 studs. Shrimpo has a slightly longer attention span of 2 seconds. And beside that, there is no real mechanic or ability that they have. Which makes us go to the next Toon and Twisted, which is Toodles. We all know Toodles. We have various names for her. But yeah, the stats are 3-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, which is 15 walk and 25 run, 3-star stamina, which is 150 stamina, 4-star stealth, which is 15 stealth, and 2-star extraction speed, which is a multiplier of 0.85. They also have an ability called Beginner's Luck. This allows them to roll for a 50% boost to a random stat that lasts for 10 seconds. The cooldown of this ability is 25 seconds. What is the gameplay and the role of Toodles? Well, mainly a survivor. Beside that, an extractor, because you cannot really use Toodles for anything else. They're okay for extracting due to the short ability use time. So you can keep rolling every 15 seconds once you have both the cards. Even though it's a 50% boost to a random stat, if you keep getting extension speed and or skill check chance, it does help a bit. Beside that, there isn't really anything that makes her bad at all. And regarding trinkets, what could you use for Toodles? Well, you can use Magnifying Glass, Participation Award, or Visa Mode. These all work very well. You could also use Pink Bow. So let's go on to the twisted version of Toodles. They don't really have any mechanic or ability, but the stats are 12 patrol speed and 14.4 during panic. The run speed is 20 and during panic it is 24. They have a slightly lower vision range, which is 50 stud vision radius, and the hearing radius is the same as every other default or average Toon, which is 125 studs. And the attention span of Toodles is lower than the others at 1 second. Now we're going to the last toon of this guide, which is V. V stats are the following: 4-star skill check, 2-star movement speed, which is 12.5 walk and 22.5 run. 3-star stamina, which is 150 stamina stats. 2-star stealth, which is 5 stealth. And 5-star extraction speed, which is a multiplier of 1.5. The abilities that we have are called mic check and camera hijack. The mic check highlighting all twisted on the floor for 5 seconds with a cooldown of 60 seconds. And the camera hijack is used for seeing the nearest uncompleted machine. This will highlight in green if there's no one on it, and as white when someone is currently on the machine. The role of V is extractor. The strengths, of course, being able to highlight all the twisted on the floor. So basically really good for supporting the distractors. And also the high extraction speed, making it very fast to clear machines. Besides that, one weakness that V has is the slow speed and the 2-star stealth. This makes them vulnerable to Twisted when you don't have a 2-star stealth distractor, like Goob or Louis, for example. What trinkets should you use as V? Well, I would advise Magnifying Glass, Participation Ward, and Ping Bow. These three work really well with V. Regarding Twisted V, the stats Twisted V has is 10 patrol speed and 12 during panic, 18% run speed and 21.6 during panic. The vision radius of V is 60 studs and the hearing radius of V is 9,999, making them able to hear basically you messing up the machine from anywhere on the map. Their attention span is 3 seconds. V also has an ability, or well, multiple abilities and mechanics. One of them is that they apply slow to and a pop-up during chasing. Slow to basically slowing you down by 50%. And the other ability that V has is that it gives you 3 pop-up ads every now and then. And that's basically it. These are all the Toons and Twisted from the OG patch, from the beginning of the game. And of course, these are just like information and statistics that you can use and follow. It doesn't mean that you have to use these trinkets for these Twisted at all times. You can use whatever you want and what you feel like. You can use any toon that you want to use and feel like using. This guide is only there to help you and give you some more information about the Toons and Twisted themselves. So, hope it was all useful. Have a nice day, and I'll see you around. Bye!